So thanks once again for dropping by the channel. If you like the content, if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe, share the video if you enjoyed it, if you felt it was useful. Now let's get into this. So Eddie Hearn's recently announced that Billy Joe Saunders, it's looking likely that his next fight will be the end of November. I believe the date that was listed was November 28th. If I'm wrong, apologies, but I believe that was the date that was listed. And it's possibility I should say, that him and Callum Smith will both share that card, okay? Now, he's also alluded to some other fights, like he said he wants to get Dave Allen on the Usyk Chisora card, which doesn't surprise me, to be honest with you. And considering he's sparring Usyk, probably will. He wants to get Kuzman versus Bakody rescheduled, which is a fight that I was so annoyed that we didn't get to see on the first card, on the first White Paveckin card. But in terms of Billy Joe Saunders coming back to the ring, I mean, I seen that picture of him and Kell Brook sparring. Not sparring, but they were just together after sparring. Brook, I think I alluded to it in my Brook video that I done yesterday, that Brook looked, lean. It looked like he was really, taking things serious. Billy Joe just looked big. And Billy Joe is not a natural 168 pounder. Realistically, you would imagine that if discipline was something that he had kept throughout his whole career, he would have gone from 154 pounds, which is where he should have started, to 160 and probably stagnant at 160. Being up at 168 is, being at one, and this isn't just a shot at Billy Joe, but I think being at 168 for him is indicative to a lot of fighters these days, where they can probably make the weight below reasonably straightforward, but I think down to sheer laziness in some part. And this is not just Billy Joe, this is just in general, this is just generic about certain fighters, sheer laziness. And I think that a lot of fighters use that crutch of weight as an excuse. They lose at one weight, it's like, well, we need to move up 2 weights now just because it makes it look like, that's how bad I was struggling. So that's just something that I've noticed. That's just indicative of fighters these days. You see it with a lot of fighters when they move up like 2 weight divisions to justify a loss. Sometimes they will go even further than that. I mean, it's crazy. Anyway, back on to Billy Joe. He's obviously changed trainers yet again, gone to Mark Tibbs, or gone back to the Tibbs, I should say. Look, Billy Joe, at this stage now of his career, I really do think he is looking for that big payday. All right, Billy Joe, if next year, we'll say, is Billy Joe's last year in boxing, and it could very well be, I mean, who knows? If Billy Joe Saunders retires next year and the biggest fight he has will be a Callum Smith fight, or maybe the Demetrius Andre fight, because God knows if he's going to get the Canelo fight now. If that is the biggest fight he has, and if what he's done is, won world titles in 2 weight divisions, but beating, Andy Lee for the first, which was a good win, it was a competitive fight, and then beating that Israel Sufi guy, is that what the guy's name was, at 168, and everything in between, I would look at Billy Joe's career and say there was a lot of wasted potential there, because during his career he has had serious bouts of inactivity, blown up in between fights. And people talk about the Lemieux fight, and I've said this before, it was a fantastic performance. Lemieux was tailor-made for Billy Joe, a slow fighter who's not very, fluid, who was just going to plod around the ring. That is tailor-made for Billy Joe. But what Billy Joe did in that fight was he increased his stock exponentially with that performance. So when you increase your stock level like that, what do? You go and you, like I always say in this channel, you let the snowball effect kick in. When you go out next year, you make sure you're looking good and you make sure you ride, the wave. He's never done that. No, he hasn't done that. He fought Lemieux 2017, December 2017. He fought Ndamu, Charles Ndamu, December 2018. That was his next fight. That's just, that's indicative of what Billy Joe does. And I've criticised him plenty on this channel. I've also, I've had Billy Joe fans come out to me and say, gee man, you hate Billy Joe. I said, no, but I'm just explaining, I'm just saying what he's done over the years. This is fact what he's done, and the way he carries on now with regards to boxing, you can tell he's not fully keen on it. You can tell he's not fully interested in it. You can tell he's looking for the biggest payday there, and then, okay, grand, I can live my life the way I want to. So it'd be interesting to see, as I said, who he fights in November, if in fact he does fight. I mean, I don't know who they'd fight. I mean, I'd imagine they wouldn't be anybody great, but it'd be interesting to see how he looks in terms of, ring rust and stuff like that, because lest we forget, it would have been a year since he fought, and then he's active enough in 2019 to be fair, but it'd be a year since he fought. Whenever we see Billy Joe out of the ring for a prolonged period of time, we normally don't tend to see a good performance, such as the Yakubov fight. Out of the ring for over a year, very, very poor performance. Obviously, to take a lot of weight off for that fight, but still, very, very poor performance. So, like I said, guys, it'd be interesting to see who he fights and how he looks in it. But with Billy Joe, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Like I said in my video about him changing trainer, I asked the question. You know, people asked the question: is it Frank Warren? Was it Frank Warren who couldn't get Billy Joe to fights? Why is Eddie Hearn not getting Billy Joe to fights? Is anyone looking at the elephant in the room and saying maybe it's neither of those guys? Maybe it's Billy Joe is the issue in this situation. You know, maybe he's the reason why he's not getting these big fights. You know, just a question I asked, just some food for thought for everyone in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Billy Joe fighting the end of November, potentially fighting Callum Smith next year. Yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, of course, if you are new to the channel. If you enjoyed it, if you felt it was useful. Oh yeah, smash the like button. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Yeah, we keep this channel rolling. We keep the snowball effect. This channel is growing quite quickly now. So we're getting back to where we were. So hope you all enjoyed the video. Subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. I've been G-Man. As always, people, I'll talk to you. Peace.